Hey guys, hope you're doing well. We're approaching about a month of me uploading on the Fusion build, and to just answer all your questions, I'm gonna walk you through everything that I've done to the car. I'll give you an honest review about it, and I'll tell you some of the plans that I have for the near future at the end. So let's get to it. So the first thing I did was upgraded the brakes. These are brake motive brakes, zinc plated, drilled and slotted. So I did buy this car used, and because of that, the brakes had a little bit of play in them. They weren't as responsive as I wanted them to be. And so upgrading these was definitely a good call. I would give these a solid 10 out of 10 because they're not that expensive for what they are. And on top of that, they definitely have really good performance. Hello, Thor. And then keeping it with the brakes, these are the wheels that I had installed. These are 18-inch Focus ST Snowflakes, painted in a metallic black, and they're wrapped in Falcon tires. 235, 45, 18, if anybody's wondering. Hey, Thor, do you like the wheels? No? Okay. And I would rate these a solid 9 out of 10. Taking a point off because realistically, they could be 20s, but at the end of the day, it is my daily driver, so it's not the worst situation. Bringing it back over here, we have this custom LED spoiler. My most recent video is actually on this spoiler, so I'm not going to talk too much about it, but I do love the effect that the extra brake light has. Works really good. Even having it off, the look of the LED adds a little bit of flair, and it does have nice little ridges to it. Just a little bit more sporty. It's a Fusion, so she's not really sporty, but it helps. But I'd give it a solid 8 out of 10. 1 point off because the wiring is on the right side, whereas the already installed brake light wiring is on the other side. Then the install, I wish it was a bolt-on, but it's a stick-on. But other than that, love it. Carrying it over, I have this gloss black roof wrap. It's pretty common, I would say, amongst most vehicles nowadays, just because it does add that extra layer, especially if the vehicle's outside, because the actual paint doesn't get damaged, and on top of that, it looks really cool. Especially with the tinted windows, it definitely gives the car a much more sleek look, and I'll give that a 10 out of 10 all day. And then I've got a few things I've done here in the front. Just from the top, we'll start off with the hood. These decals were just literally like $18 online. And I think they give the front end a much more aggressive look, accentuate the lines on the car, and really easy install. So 10 out of 10 for that one. And then, hi Loki. And then to this emblem. Realistically, for the emblem, it was definitely a hassle to get it off. Disassembling it wasn't that bad, but the paint isn't going to hold up as great against the elements just because it is just paint. It's not an actual wrap or anything. So I'd give it like a 6 out of 10, I would say, because it's probably more cost effective and more durable just to get an aftermarket one or an overlay for one. But it is something I would strongly recommend just because the blue emblems everywhere can get a little repetitive. Making it your own definitely makes it stand out just from a styling and color tone perspective. Next would be this honeycomb grille. I had it custom painted and it looks pretty cool. Definitely accentuates the car. Resembles the 500 grille, only thing being that it isn't nearly as deep. I would give it a solid 9 out of 10. It definitely adds some angles to it and some functionality because there is a lot more open space in the grille, but it does increase airflow into your engine bay. And I'm not going to knock it for the slits not being as deep, but I will say it is more difficult to paint if you're going to try to paint match it to your car. Last thing in the front being these fog lights. I'd give them a solid 8 out of 10. They definitely do their job, and they look pretty cool, especially when they're off. You can see the halos really well. But there's definitely more expensive options that you could go for that have a little bit better quality. And so not paying as much for these, you don't actually lose anything. You just get more when you pay for more. But I think that's it for the car on the outside. And now we can take it to the inside. And now as soon as you open the door, you can see I customized some of the interior trim. Super easy to do. I would strongly recommend you do this. Whether you wrap it, whether you paint it, I'd give it a solid 10 out of 10 because it adds so much visual depth to the interior of the car, and you're gonna be staring at it all day anyway. So might as well do something to it. Now next would be the footwell lighting. Because it is bright outside, you can't see it very well. I'll throw in a clip of it at night. But it's definitely a fun mod, very, very easy to do. And on top of that, it adds so much character to your car. So 10 out of 10 easy. If you haven't done it, do it. You can literally buy a set for like $5, $10. Definitely makes your interior feel a lot more immersive. And has that casual custom feel for a very, very small fraction of the price. Plus most of them you can usually link it to your phone and just do it from there. And now rounding out the mods, we have my Xbox. I keep the controller in the glove box and just the press of a button. And there you go. It's easily the most fun way to pass time in your car. Like literally the day before yesterday, I was just sitting in the drive-thru. I turned it on just because I was bored and waiting. And you're not going anywhere, so why not play it? Easy install, and on top of that, definitely adds a lot of character to your car. So I would give it a solid 10 out of 10. And I'll link the video right here if you don't know how to do it. But I think that just about does it. Now, some of the stuff that I want to do. One, I would like to upgrade the exhaust to the Fusion Sport exhaust and have 2 exhaust pipes, not for the sake of noise, but just for the sake of symmetry. Getting some aftermarket taillights, possibly the Porsche style, just because they're very bright red, the rest of the car is very monochromatic, and I feel like it kind of breaks it up, but there's ways around it. Definitely want to see about ordering those, and then the last thing would just be the headlights, getting some custom work done on them. Maybe a wide body at some point, we'll see. But that's gonna do it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you want to keep up to date on the build, and I'll see you in the next one.